Hi there. So today I wanted to talk to you about when you're compensating in your body, if you have an injury or if you're uncomfortable, and then you solve that problem, but it's at the expense of another part of your body. So I'm going to give you an example from a student who just visited me this morning, and for a reference point, I'll just kind of show you quickly here. She was standing up and she was walking around another town, and she said, I started to experience some lower back pain here, which in her case, she doesn't usually have lower back pain. So here in the lumbar, from the tailbone all the way up right below the ribs. And she said, and so I got it to go away. I was sort of walking a little differently, but then by the end of the day, my upper back was giving me trouble. So that was, she was referring to more of her thoracic, which is around the spine around your ribs. Okay, so she said, what gives? What's that about? And oftentimes I see this working with individuals, and it's because as a result of us trying our best, consciously or unconsciously, to solve or alleviate pain that we're experiencing, we usually misuse another body part of ours to try and assist with feeling better in another area. So let me give you an example. Maybe you have a knee problem, okay? Maybe your knee is uncomfortable, it's just kind of tweaked, and you're just not quite comfortable, especially when standing in line at a grocery store or something like that. You may, as a result, start to shift your weight and always favor another part of your body. So now the knee is no longer giving you trouble, it feels fine, but your hip on the other side is uncomfortable, okay? So we've changed locations and we've never really even solved the problem to begin with over there in your knee, okay? So I always think of Alexander technique as sort of like peeling away an onion, because we're looking at how can I better use my body. And in my experience of teaching, oftentimes many habits people have, they discover, oh, I started doing this because of XYZ. And XYZ might be very understandable. I started holding because I had a surgery and I couldn't get this part of my body wet, so I started to protect it and hold my shoulder in. Surgery was 2 years ago. I don't have to do that anymore, right? It comes from a genuine place. We're doing the best we can, and yet we still develop these habits around how we use our bodies. And in Alexander technique, we look at how do you use your body? How can I better use myself in order to feel better and use less energy and be more efficient with my use so I can feel more comfortable in my day-to-day life? And so I'm going to just throw that out there to you. Maybe there is something that you could look at in your life that you feel like, you know, I think I do this because of that. I think that I started doing this way back when as a result of this. Because oftentimes something will come up and you'll say, oh, I think I never dealt with that problem to begin with. In fact, that happens in my practice all the time. People will come to me for a specific problem. They'll say, oh, you know, Morgan, the thing I came to you about, no longer applicable. It's not giving me any problems. It gives me no trouble. But yet, this old pain I had weeks, months, years ago is now returning. Well, friend, it means you never dealt with it to begin with. So those are the things that Alexander technique tries to get to, is what is the root of the problem that's causing other problems as well. And when you start to kind of peel away the onion, lots will be shared, and you'll be able to see where you're going wrong, and then it's actually much simpler than you think. So if you have any insights or anything that you discover, of course, I'd love to hear about it. Please share. Until next time, ciao.